So aside from just trying to replace your salary, what are some other what are other pressures you felt, or what are some other things that were kind of weighing on you as you made that transition?
I think there's a lot. It might just be in our space, Nick, or like the LinkedIn space or whatever. There's a real negative stigma of people that like try to go work for themselves, where it's like, oh, you think you're an expert or whatever, like you don't have enough experience to go do that. You got to work your way up to CRO and do that for 10, 15, 20 years before you can actually like give any advice or go out on your own, that sort of thing. And so there was a lot of like like my own like public perception of like I didn't want to be viewed as somebody who just like got tired of working in a sales job and wanted to go do their own thing. So like that public perception or like the public idea of failing, right? Like saying I was going to go out on my own and then like 6 months later saying, hey, I'm looking for another job. So like that was another that was probably the second biggest thing besides replacing my salary. I mean, those are the two biggest things that I thought about a lot. And also like with your family as well, and like and friends and things of that nature. Like you don't want to be looked at as a failure or whatnot. So yeah, I mean that's a big thing. I don't know if you can relate to that at all, but I'm sure a lot of people do as well. Like that's
Definitely, dude. I mean, we've talked about this before. Like, I didn't make the choice to go out on my own in the traditional sense. Like, it wasn't one day where I was like, okay, the time's come. I'm gonna leave my job. I'm trying to do this thing. Like, there was restructure. I didn't have a job, and I decided I had a kid and a wife and a house and all the things. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to earn money to
no,
to live my life. And you take one look at a job posting with 2,000 applicants, and you're like, that's not going to work. So
yeah,
we're going to figure something else out. So, but yeah, I mean, being able to provide and earn an income, huge weight on the shoulders. Being able to not fail, right? To not let down the people around you or the people who believe in you is it has a weight, most certainly. And then there's the element of like all the other little mechanics of starting a company, all the little things that come with starting a business. You're like, you got to figure out your taxes, you got to figure out
yeah,
compliance and what liability you do or don't have, and tech and all the stuff that is not being good at outbound sales.
yeah. That's a huge part of it. I don't think I totally underestimated. It's just like, yeah, sending invoices, following up on invoices, taxes, bank stuff, just staying organized. Like when you're working with lots of clients, like you have to be super organized. Like all that stuff is really highlighted, and it's just like so important. And you're wearing a million hats if you're trying to run your own business, and that can get really really overwhelming. Yeah, I completely agree.
And I agree with you what you said earlier about there's this like stigma that especially with people who are well known on LinkedIn, it's like, oh well, that's just like the thing you do. You build up a following and you go out on your own. Like you leave your job and you go out on your own.
Yeah,
And I think we've all been like convinced of this idea that it is you're going to be successful if you have a massive audience. And I think that the odds of you being successful are higher. Like it makes things easier. You have the ability to reach people. And I think that's one of the main things that holds a lot of people back is that they don't have the ability to reach people in the same way that you do. But that doesn't change the fact that you still have to figure out all these other things and have the confidence to go out there and do it. And so the LinkedIn like brainwashing that takes place
yeah,
is like because everyone you see a lot of people do it and it's not I think everyone wants to build in public. And I was talking about this with Erica Schneider on here a few weeks ago. She was like, there's this idea of building in public, which is more just winning in public. There's a lot of people who don't truly build in public. And there's a lot of this idea of you're going to fail.
yeah.
And you only see the highlight reel when you see people building stuff on LinkedIn. So it's a totally different experience. And I think what you're highlighting is like, yo, it's not all that.
I like the idea like building a public. The way it was praised to me when I started like doing content or writing publicly, it was like learning out loud. And I think that basically that means just whatever you're learning, share whether it's good or bad. And that takes a lot of pressure off. And I think you're better off building an audience that way because people connect with you in a more genuine way. If you're just like not trying to come across as an expert, you're just again learning out loud. That helped me a lot as well. I think that's a good way to look at it.
This is perfect because most people will see building in public and what you're doing and learning out loud, and they're going to go, how am I supposed to create all these new frameworks and teach people all these new things? And you're like, these are things that everybody inherently knows. And you're saying, just who gives a shit? Just write about what you just figured out. And if you just figured it out, like, other people don't know it either. Don't know yet
Yeah.
either.